So let's see how we can use Excel to find the optimal solution of the problem and see how we can do the sensitivity analysis. So first we will lay up the sheet. There are very many ways to laying up the sheets, but I prefer this method. So you can use any method you want, but I find it as the most easiest. So we have two products, so I'll just write here products, and the products are bowl and mug, and with each product there is a profit associated per unit, and that is 40 and 50. And we have some resources which we are using to do this work. The first is the labor, that is the hours, and the data that's been given to us, it's form of R per unit, and this is clay, that is basically pound per unit. So this is laying up the cells, and we have another option here, that is what is the production. For the production we have the bowls and mugs, and this is for the profit. Okay, now labor, this is okay. Now this two cells, just wanted to tell you, these cells are basically the cells where the Excel will give us the value of x1 and x2. So we will keep these cells empty and we will ask Excel to find the values in these two cells. Okay, so this bowl is basically x1 and the mugs was x2. With this, the first thing we want to write is the equation for the profit. Our equation is 40 multiplied by x1 plus this 50 multiplied by x2, this cell. So what we are going to do, we'll write the formula here, equal to 40, which is written here, multiplied by this x1 plus 50 multiplied by x2. So this is the profit. Okay, this is formula for profit. Now let me just delete my annotations so that things become less messy. So if I just put here 1 and 1 here, the value will be 90. That is telling us that if we produce one bowl and one mug, so the profit per bowl is 40 and profit per mug is 50, we'll have 90 profits. This is just a way of checking your formulas that you have written. Now the labor constraint, we see the labor constraint is x1 plus 2x2, x1 plus 2x2 less than equal to 40. Now x1 plus 2x2 means that there is a 1 written here with the x1, 1x1 plus 2x2. So what we will do, we will write here in this labor, we will write here 1, because this is basically these four cells, they are for the coefficients of the constraints, as we call them the resources here. So these four cells are for them. So labor has 1 and then it has 2. Then we have for clay is 4 and we have 3. Let me just again delete these annotations so they don't tangle with our work. The second constraint, we have also already written it, so let's delete it. And we know the formula for the constraint is, let's say the formula was 2x1, sorry, it was 1x1 plus 2x2 less than equal to 40. So we will write this bit in this formula, and we will call this cell as something like, the usage. We call it usage, let's say. So we will write this formula here. We will put this value in here, this cell, and this equal less than equal to here. So this is basically the second cell is constraint, and this is the available quantity here, that is 40 and 120. And here we will write the formula, and the formula is for 1x1 plus 2x2 means this 1 multiplied by this x1. This is 1 into x1. This is plus 2 into this thing. This is x2. So we will write the formula as equal to 1 multiplied by x1 that I just showed you, plus 2 into x2. So this is the formula for the constraint. And you can see that 1 plus, because we have put 1 and 1 here, so 1, that means we are producing 1 bowl and 1 mug, so we will use 1 labor hour per unit and 2 labor hours, so the answer will be 3. So that means the formula is right. In a similar way, we can write the formula for uh, clay. The clay formula is 4x1 plus 3x2 less than uh, less than equal to 120. We will write 120 here. Here we will write less than equal to 4 both. This formula will go here, and that means we are saying that 4 multiplied by this x1 plus 3 multiplied by this x2. So let's write the formula here, and 4 into x1 is this, plus 3 into x2 is this. Okay, now just let me delete these annotations. Hope you have understood the point of doing this, of how this is done. Okay, now I'll just write again the form, show you this is the formula, how it's written. I'll write it again, a more clear view. 4 multiplied by this x1 plus 3 multiplied by this x2. This is the formula, and answer is 7 because we have already placed 1 and 1 here, but we don't need to, but we have just placed 1 and 1 to see that if we are writing the formulas in the right manner or not. So you can always delete them if you want. So I said that we'll call this cell as the usage, we will call this cell as the constraint, and this is basically less than or equal to, less than or equal to. And remember that this less than or equal to has got no function in the mathematical modeling. This is just for the cosmetic purposes. It has got no real meaning here. Okay, so just we have just written to show you how the constraint is working. It has got nothing to do with the mathematical model. So this is our constraint, and then we have the available quantity, and the available quantity was 40 for this, and this is for the 120. And the final cell is the slack, that is telling us that it is equal to the usage, available minus usage, and this is available minus this usage. So this is how it is done. So once uh, we have this setup, let's go to the solver, and solver is in the data tab. You click on the solver here, and I just read the previous work. So the first thing is setting the objective. The objective is our profit. We first click on this blank cell, and then we click on the profit cell, and it says we want objective to maximize, minimize, because it's a profit we want to maximize. And how? By changing variable cells. Which cells? These are the two cells that we have asked Excel to find. And you subject to the constraints. Which constraints? These two I just discussed, told you that these two, the usage, we have it in the formula here. So in the cell reference, the cells with the formula, they go here, remember. Okay, so the cell with the formula, they go in the cell reference. This is less than equal to the constraint. Which constraint? The available quantity. You select this quantity. Because both the constraints are less than equal to, I have grouped them to make my life easier. And there is one thing more, that is here multiple options, simplex, grg. I'll use simplex. We use simplex for LP, and then we solve it. And this window appears. It says solver found a solution. All constraints are satisfied. Keep solver position solution. We say okay. And then here in the report there's a sensitivity. You just also click on it. Now if you look at the sheet, there is a solver has found the values of 24 and 8. We have already found these values here. And if you look below, this is a sensitivity report. A tab is generated. So we will now have a look at the sensitivity report. And the slack is 0. And we have also found the slack at 0 at point B and for the clay and labor. So let me just copy this sheet and go to the sensitivity report. This is the sensitivity report generated by the Excel, and here is a comparison of the work that we have done. So the value of x1 is 24. We have also found the 24. This is 8. We have also found 8. Reduced cost, it is 0. We have already discussed it to be 0. Objective coefficient is 40 and 50. It is 40 and 50. We know this thing. So now and the allowable increase is 26.6, and this is third, and decrease is 15. So these quantities of same for x1 and x2. Similarly, if you look, compare this table for the right hand side, it is equal to, it is same as the table that we found using the graphical method. Final value, shadow prices, the same shadow prices, and the constraints 40, 120, range was 30 to 80. And it is telling us that Q, because our hour was 40, so the we can add increase this 40 by 40 to get the value of 80, and decrease it by 10 to get the value of 30. So decrease, increase, and this is the same thing goes for the Q2. So this is how we are, how we are going to do it in Excel. And you can see that our results, they compare well, they compare almost 100% to the our results compared to that of Excel. All right, thank you very much.